When we were all in the caves, half of everyone born was dead before the age of 30.
These type of videos piss me off so much, and it's why decolonizing prehistory is so important. And it's why science matters when you're looking at fucking numbers. You know, this often quoted, well, your life expectancy before civilization, you'd be dead by 30, is based on infant mortality rates. When you factor in infant mortality rates, and if you take those out of the equation, those who lived past the age of 2 or 3 were expected to have a full life expectancy 60s, 70s, just like we have today. Infant mortality does not equal life expectancy unless you have an agenda. And I'm calling these guys out. Neil deGrasse Tyson, the Green Brothers, they are apologists for your enslavement in civilization. And I mean that literally, because here's the other side of this coin. Did you notice the digs at organic food and clean air and clean water and free range game? You notice how smugly dismissive he was of those things? Isn't that interesting? As if people haven't been horribly mutilated or birth defects or died horrific deaths due to pollution. That's not something you can just dismiss casually out of hand by saying, well, they ate organic food and they only lived to 30, because one, you're wrong, and two, fuck you. The language and the tone matters here. This is the language and imagery colonizers use when they come in and say these ignorant, dirty savages who don't understand how the world works and don't have eloquence and don't have culture, and they're just eating whatever they find off the ground. They need us. They need our civilization. We are bringing benefits to them. It's the exact same language. It's the exact same tone of voice, the same smug condensate. You know what I mean? Like, this is the language of colonizers. This is what we fight strenuously against. Decolonizing prehistory is not specific to one group of native peoples seeking to reclaim their history. Decolonizing prehistory is humanity regaining its own humanity. Because this is not about life expectancy numbers. What this is telling people to shut up. Oh, you have to sacrifice your life, your one and only life, the good years of your life, from when you're a teenager until you're too old to work anymore. And you must spend the majority of your time, almost every day, all day, working to enrich someone who already has excess wealth. And you want to do that, according to these people, because the alternative is you're dead at 28. Because the alternative is a nightmare. Short, brutish, violent, dirty, ignorant savages. That's the basic human idea for these folks. And they will push any agenda, any story, whether or not it's backed up by science. They'll twist the numbers. They'll make up a story because we don't know what life was like 100,000 years ago. There's no evidence of what life was like for the average person back then. It's a fiction. It's a fantasy, and it's a fairy tale, and it's one that's promoted heavily by people who are trying to get you to shut up about making life better. These are the same people who will try and convince you that a species intelligent enough to peer into the smallest parts of the universe and the largest parts of the universe somehow lacked the intelligence to understand that a plant grows from a seed. For hundreds of thousands of years, they'll tell you that we were too stupid to figure out that a seed makes a plant similar to the one that the seed came from. We lived our entire lives outside, right? For hundreds of thousands of years, we were the survival masters, eating everything and anything that grew or walked or swam or flew on this planet, but somehow we were too stupid to figure out that a seed makes a plant? Give me a fucking break. The reason we didn't invent agriculture in civilization up until recently is because that's a whole lot of fucking work for not a whole lot of payoff. For most people, civilization is a pretty raw fucking deal. You are enslaved to labor. You must earn wages, or else. And there is no other option. There is no wilderness world to which we can escape anymore. They own the world. They own all the land, and you have to work for them. And if you don't, do you know what awaits? the Dark Ages, when we were all living in caves. What the fuck is that? Like there's a surfeit of caves around the world that could somehow house humanity. We didn't live in caves, my guy. We didn't live in. Nobody wants to live in. Have you been in a cave? They're cold and wet and they fucking suck. Not to mention, they're going to be filled with bears and wolves and shit like that. We built huts. We built homes. We built our own dwellings in nice places near nice, clean, like rivers and near game and things like that. We were smart. We're the most adaptable, successful species on the planet because we're so goddamn smart. And we're so smart and we could figure out how to live on every surface of the planet, but somehow we couldn't figure out that seeds grew plants.